Uganda's public debt stands at 80 trillion shillings. The figure covers domestic debt and external loans. Over time, the debt to maturity of the debt has reduced to an average of 9.6 years in June 2021. These figures are now worrying some members of the civil society organization who say caution should be taken while negotiating the loans.
So for the total public debt, we see that the average time to maturity has been declining, and a lower average time to maturity is not really desirable. Yeah, we would want to see a longer average time to maturity, because if your debt is maturing in a shorter time, that is not good for us.
Despite the worrying figures of public debt, government has not stopped borrowing. In addition, government has acted as a guarantor for some private entities who borrow from various lenders. The 2021-2022 report on public debt, grants, guarantees and other financial liabilities indicated that Uganda guaranteed 7 organizations to access various loans. The report indicates that some of the organizations have since defaulted on loans, leaving government liable.
We are saying that you shouldn't guarantee someone whom you are not very sure they will pay, otherwise you will be liable. And in this case, government of Uganda having guaranteed the 2 entities will definitely be liable, and they themselves are not making good on the expectation to pay. And we are noting that excluding this liability is portraying a more positive picture than what is actually the reality.
The activists hope that government will increase domestic resource mobilization mechanisms as well as filling gaps in the current process to lessen debt.
There are aspects that we can, for example, handle. One is domestic resource mobilization. There are domestic mobilization angles that government has not tapped into. One of them, which we have repeatedly talked about, is the issue of tax holidays to would-be taxpayers that would ordinarily have paid more taxes and increased on the URA collections, in which case the chances of borrowing would be lessened because we would be having more money to up our budget.
We really must address the problem of corruption if we are to address debt. Because as a country, we are losing 10 trillion every year to corruption, according to the Inspectorate of Government. And our national debt is at 80 trillion. If we can recover the money we are losing, in 8 years we can pay back our national debt.
Nearly half of the 2022-2023 budget has been allocated to the debt refinancing, putting at risk various government programs and projects.